cold cabin, warm hands. Hey guys, tonight we're slipping into a snowbound fantasy. Just you and her, stranded in a remote cabin deep in the forest, a fire refusing to cooperate, and a woman sent to fix it, who just might break your heart open in the best way. The air is cold outside, but inside, it's about to get very warm. You probably won't walk straight tomorrow, but not because of the snow. There's something about the way she looks at you, tools in hand, lips a little chapped from the wind. Something slow and teasing starts melting between the two of you before the fireplace even flickers to life. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I read everyone. Now dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. Hey, it starts with the wind howling outside, like some forgotten song. You've been holed up in the cabin for a few days, working on nothing in particular, just unwinding, detaching, letting the silence settle into your bones. The fireplace was supposed to keep you company, but it sputters and complains like an old man, and now it's given up entirely. You didn't expect anyone to show up when you made the call. The snow was coming down thick by morning, and you'd resigned yourself to layers of blankets and maybe a bottle of red. But then you hear it, the crunch of boots, a knock on the wooden door. You open it to a flurry of snow, and there she is. She pulls down her hood. Brown curls spill out, damp from the storm. Her cheeks are flushed pink, and her gloves are already halfway off. There's a belt around her waist, heavy with tools, and a smirk that borders on knowing. "You're the one who called about the fireplace?" she asks, stepping in without waiting for permission. You nod, stunned for a moment. She's not what you expected. She's better, real, earthy, pretty in a way that feels like something you don't get enough of in your world. "Lucky I was still in the area," she continues, kneeling by the hearth as you close the door behind her. "Otherwise, you'd have been toasting marshmallows over a flashlight." You laugh, but she doesn't look up. She's already rolling up her sleeves. Her hands are deft, confident. She brushes soot aside with the edge of her knuckle, inspects the bricks like she's met them before. You sit on the couch, watching, feeling something stir that has nothing to do with warmth. The cabin grows quieter. Just the soft pop of the logs she sets aside, the shuffle of her knees against the rug, the occasional mumble to herself as she works. You offer her something hot, and she lifts her eyes to yours. "Coffee?" "Got cocoa." "Even better." You hand her a steaming mug. Her fingers brush yours, and you both feel it, that static pull. She doesn't look away. When she sits beside you, still holding the cocoa, her scent finds you. Rain-soaked wool, cedar, and something like cinnamon. She smiles, a little more curious now. "So what's your story?" she asks. "Running from things," you answer. "Honest before you mean to be. Or maybe towards something quieter." Her gaze lingers. You picked a good place for that. She sips, you sip. The fireplace stays silent. Then, with a sigh, she sets down her cup and goes back to the hearth. "All right," she says. "Let's see if I can coax this old thing back to life." You watch her from behind, the way her shirt lifts slightly as she leans forward, the faint dip of her waist into denim. She knows you're looking. You can feel it in the air, charged now, thick with something unsaid. I'll need to get under the unit, she says, glancing over her shoulder. Hope you don't mind a little crawling. Not at all. She smirks again, but it's softer this time. She removes her jacket, revealing a worn thermal that clings just right. When she stretches, the hem rides up, revealing a sliver of skin, warm, tan, alive, and you, sitting there with your cocoa, feel the fire inside you catching before the logs do. When she finally gets the thing going, when the first flickers of flame rise and dance across the room, she sits back on her heels and exhales. There we go. The glow reflects in her eyes. You both sit in the new warmth, not speaking, just letting it settle. She leans back beside you again. See, she whispers, I'm good at my job. You nod, but your eyes drift to her lips. The fire crackles, so does something else. And the night is only just beginning. Flickering flames, lingering looks. The fire hums now, steady and alive, casting a golden glow over the wooden walls and the curve of her face. She sits on the floor beside the hearth, knees drawn up, palms open toward the heat, eyes fluttering half-closed, like she's falling into some private moment of calm. You stay where you are, still on the couch, but your body leans toward her without permission, like gravity's shifted in her direction. It's always the little things, she murmurs, not looking at you. Tiny bits of build-up, just enough to choke a flame if you're not paying attention. You know she's talking about the fireplace, but maybe not only that. There's a quiet between you that doesn't feel empty. It's charged, full of breath, of awareness, of unspoken things humming in the space between each flicker of light. I'm Nora, she says after a moment, stretching her legs out, crossing them at the ankle. You tell her your name, and it feels strange on your lips, like it's the first time it's mattered in a long while. She lifts her head, glancing at you over her shoulder. You always this quiet? You smile faintly. Only when someone interesting's talking. That earns you a soft laugh, and something flickers in her expression. Flattered maybe, but also intrigued. She shifts, leaning one arm on the edge of the couch. Her shoulder is inches from your thigh now. Mind if I sit here? You scoot over, making space. Though part of you wants her even closer, she settles in beside you. With a soft exhale, her body a warm presence against the cushion. The fire crackles again. Outside, the wind presses against the cabin like a child trying to peek in. You notice her hands again, calloused, strong, but slender. She flexes them once before cradling the mug of cocoa you handed her earlier, taking another slow sip. You realize you're staring. You always look at people like that, she teases, without turning. You answer slowly. Only when I'm trying not to. She glances sideways, eyes locked on yours. It's a long pause, a loaded one. I see. You both go quiet again, but it's a different kind of silence now. Her breath shifts subtly. She's more aware of your proximity. And you feel her warmth through the cushion, through the air, through the thrum inside your chest. She brushes a loose strand of hair behind her ear, almost absent-mindedly, but the movement draws your attention to her neck. Pale and soft. A curve, inviting thought. You don't touch her. Not yet. But something in your body leans forward, ever so slightly. She notices. You know she does. Do you ever? She starts, then hesitates. Do you ever get the feeling that something's supposed to happen, even if it makes no sense? You nod slowly. Like, she continues, you were supposed to go to sleep cold tonight, But now the fire's fixed, and somehow I'm still here. And I'm glad you are, you say. She doesn't smile this time. Not right away. Her gaze lowers to her lap. Her fingers trace the rim of the mug. You notice the way her lip catches slightly in her teeth before she speaks again. It's dumb, she whispers. I shouldn't be lingering. But you are. Yeah, she breathes. I am. Her shoulder touches yours. Just the softest graze, skin through fabric. But it lingers. She doesn't pull away. Neither do you. You're not sure who moves first. It could be her. It could be you. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the way your fingers eventually brush. Tentative at first, almost accidental. Then again, slower, intentional. She turns her hand in yours, letting your palms meet. It's clumsy, tender, hot. You don't kiss her yet. Instead, she shifts slightly, leaning forward to place her mug on the coffee table. When she sits back, her thigh is pressed against yours fully now. She smells like snow and cinnamon and something warm, like amber. She looks at you again, and her voice is almost inaudible. If I kissed you right now, would you stop me? No. Another flicker of firelight dances across her eyes as she leans in, just an inch. Then another. You meet her halfway. Her lips are soft, slightly cool from the cocoa. The kiss is slow, testing, tasting. She pulls back for a breath, then kisses you again. Deeper this time. You feel her hand move to your chest, not grasping, resting, like she's reminding herself you're real. When the kiss breaks, your foreheads touch. This isn't like me, she whispers, almost apologetically. It's not like me either. And somehow, that makes it feel safer. You sit like that a while, pressed together, barely moving, letting the fire warm what's already begun to burn. It's not about rushing. It's about noticing. The way her eyelashes flutter, the way your thumb strokes the back of her hand, the way she exhales, slower now. Something's begun. Neither of you can pretend otherwise, and neither of you seems to want to. Not anymore. The sound of sparks. The fire crackles, popping softly as it consumes the logs you fed it earlier. Outside, snow thickens its hush against the windows, but inside, the air feels weightless. You and Nora are still close on the couch, her hand loosely wrapped in yours, her lips tingling from the kiss you both can't stop thinking about. She leans back just slightly, looking at you, not away, not past you, but at you, really seeing. You're warm, she murmurs, almost to herself. You smile. That's the fireplace, not me. No, she says, her thumb grazing your palm. You. There's an honesty in the room now. A silence full of potential. No need for bravado, no masks. You're just two people pulled together by weather, timing, and whatever this slow, magnetic thing is blooming in the room between flickers of light. Nora shifts her weight, pulling her legs up onto the couch to face you fully. The blanket that had fallen behind you gets tugged over her lap. She tucks a corner around your thigh. So, what brought you out here? She asks, voice low, as though any louder would crack the spell. You give her the simplest truth. I needed to remember how to feel quiet. She nods. I get that. Her fingers toy with a loose thread on the blanket, then wander back toward yours. Her nails are short. You can see little calluses from her work, the faint pink where the cold bit her skin earlier. And yet, there's such a softness to her touch. You seem like someone who's felt too much, she says suddenly. You breathe out, surprised, but not because she's wrong. Is that a bad thing? You ask. No, she says, leaning closer. I like it. Her hand moves up your arm now, slow and searching. When she reaches your jawline, her fingers trail across your cheek, like she's memorizing its shape. You tilt slightly into her touch. There's no rush, just the heat of skin and the way the fire's rhythm mirrors the heartbeat you can feel between you. Tell me if I'm going too fast, she says. You're not, but you both know it's not about speed. It's about intention. You lean in again, slower this time. Her eyes flutter shut, just before your lips meet. The second kiss is deeper, not hesitant anymore. She parts her lips softly beneath yours, and your tongues meet in a dance that's quiet, searching, unbearably tender. Her fingers slide into your hair, tugging gently. She exhales into your mouth, a breath that sounds more like a yes. The blanket slides lower. Your hand finds her waist, her ribs, the warm sliver of skin where her shirt has lifted. She gasps quietly as your palm makes contact. It's not about possession, it's about connection. Her body shifts toward you, and suddenly you're pressed chest to chest. You can feel her heartbeat. You wonder if she can feel yours. When you break the kiss, it's not because you want to stop. It's because you both want to feel the moment, the weight of it, the realness. Nora rests her forehead against yours, breath uneven. You kiss like you've been waiting, she whispers. Maybe I have. She smiles, just barely. And then she laughs, softly, nervously. I don't usually do this. I believe you, but I don't want to leave yet. Then don't. She looks into your eyes, long enough that you can see the flicker of hesitation there, the edge between what's safe and what she wants. And then she makes her choice. I'm going to change into something dry, she says, voice suddenly shy. This shirt's freezing. You nod, heart climbing your ribs. There's a drawer in the bedroom. Might be something soft in there. She rises slowly, pulling the blanket tighter around her like a shawl. Her eyes flicker once more toward yours. I'll be right back. You watch her go, her silhouette trailing into the shadowed hallway like a slow echo. You hear the bedroom door creak open, hear drawers slide. Then quiet. Your own skin feels too hot now, like the fire's inside you instead of across the room. The sparks have been struck. The waiting begins again, but not for long. She stays a while. Minutes stretch like honey while you sit there, alone again on the couch, the fire glowing steadily now, licking the shadows off the cabin walls. You trace your thumb along the edge of your cocoa mug, long since cooled, but you don't sip. Your mind is elsewhere, in the next room, where Nora moves through someone else's closet, looking for softness, something dry, something that might wrap around her and still somehow leave room for you. You wonder what she'll come back in. A flannel shirt, one of your old sweaters, something of hers, suddenly unzipped. You let yourself imagine, but not too far. You stay in the quiet tension, in the hush of maybe. The bedroom door creaks again. She steps back into view, wearing an oversized navy hoodie. One of yours, definitely. Probably from college. And it hangs over her thighs like a dress. Her legs are bare now, and her feet tucked into a pair of thick socks she must have found in the drawer. You don't say anything at first. You just take her in. She notices. What? She asks, sheepish but smiling, tugging one sleeve down past her wrist. You shake your head. You look better than I expected. She raises a brow. Than you expected. I mean, that sweater's never looked like that before. She laughs, low and warm. It's comfy. Hope you don't mind. I mind, you say, slowly, that I didn't get to see you change into it. She gives you a look then, slow, amused, a little wicked. Missed your chance, she murmurs, walking past you to stand by the fire again. She extends her arms, lets the hem rise a little as she stretches, toes pointed inward, like a sleepy dancer. So much better. The warmth hits you differently now. From the hearth, yes, but also from her. From the scent of her skin now that she's out of the wind. From the way she tilts her head at you when she catches you staring again. You really want me to leave tomorrow? She asks, still facing the fire. You pause. Not because you don't know the answer, but because the question sounds like a dare. No, you say honestly. She turns, slow and deliberate, walks toward you, one step at a time. You sure? She stops just short of the couch. Your knees nearly touch. You can feel the heat rolling off her skin, the soft scent of worn cotton, and underneath it, something a little muskier. Real. Her. I want you to stay, you say. She lets the silence hold it, weigh it, and then, finally, she nods. Okay. She sinks into the couch beside you again, this time closer. One leg tucked under her, the other bent. The hoodie rides up a little on her thigh as she shifts, and you watch her skin catch the light like silk. She doesn't pull it down. Instead, she lifts the edge of the blanket again, covering both your legs. You cold? She asks. Not anymore. She hums. That sounds somewhere between approval and temptation. You don't touch her yet, but she's within reach now. And it's like every breath between you becomes a question you're both slowly answering. So, she says, fingers brushing your knee under the blanket, are we pretending this is just a cozy accident? Do you want to pretend? No, she says quietly. Her eyes are darker in the firelight. Less teasing now, more intent. I want, she says, lifting your hand beneath the covers and placing it on her bare thigh, to feel something real tonight. Your fingers press gently into her skin, and she exhales like she's been holding her breath for hours. You sure? You ask, even though you already know. Her answer is physical, her hand moving up your chest, her body angling toward yours, her knee brushing further between yours as she leans in and kisses you again. This time, slower, more certain, you shift toward her. Let your palm glide up her thigh under the hem of the sweater. You find the soft warmth of her hip, the curve of her waist. She hums again into your mouth, like yes, like keep going. She straddles you now, without breaking the kiss. One smooth motion, one long inhale, and her legs are around you, arms draped over your shoulders, hoodie riding up her thighs completely. You feel nothing underneath it but heat and skin and anticipation. The fire crackles behind her. You kiss her neck, slow, open-mouthed, breathing her in, and she arches into you with a soft moan. Her hips press gently, just enough for you to feel how much she's not pretending anymore. But then she pulls back slightly, hands framing your face, her eyes searching yours. I don't want to feel like a mistake in the morning, she whispers. You won't, you say, without blinking. She smiles. Then let me stay a while. And this time, when you kiss her, it's a promise. 2 rooms, one thought. The cabin grows quieter as the storm thickens outside. Snow pelts the windows in soft, uneven rhythms, like the sky itself is trying to hush the world. The fire has settled into its own rhythm now. Occasional pops, slow crackles, orange light bathing every wall in a flickering warmth. Nora is still curled against you, straddling your lap, her head tucked against your neck, your hands resting beneath her borrowed hoodie. Her skin is hot now, alive and flushing under your fingertips. Neither of you rushes to break the moment. Eventually, though, she shifts in your lap and glances toward the hallway. "That guest room still made up?" she asks, voice husky but steady, more or less. She pauses. "I should probably sleep there, shouldn't I?" Your hand tightens slightly at her waist. "If that's what you want." She leans forward, pressing her lips to your cheek. "I didn't say that." Then she stands, slowly, like she's peeling herself away from something that just barely let go. She doesn't pull the hoodie down. She doesn't look away from you either. "I just need a second," she says. You nod, watching her cross the room, hips swaying gently, bare legs catching the firelight like moonlit water. When she disappears into the guest room, the air cools around you. You shift on the couch, still warm from where she sat. The room feels bigger suddenly, emptier. But it's not a sad empty. It's a suspended one. A pause between heartbeats. You wait, not anxiously, but with the kind of alertness that makes your body tingle under your skin. The door to the guest room doesn't close all the way. You can see her silhouette through the gap. A single leg stretched out on the bed, the hem of the hoodie inching high over her thigh, her hand brushing her hair out of her face. She's lying there, in the dark, like a secret waiting to be opened. You breathe deep, try to settle, but you know the truth. The bed across the hall is not where your thoughts are resting. You move to the bathroom, wash your face, brush your teeth. Let the cold water snap your senses just enough to make the moment real again. When you finally flick off the lights and head toward your room, you slow by her door. You're not going to knock, but you are going to look. You pause in the doorway. She turns her head towards you. Her voice is soft. "Can't sleep?" You shake your head. "Too warm." She smiles gently. "Must be the fire." You both know it's not. She shifts on the bed, scooting over, just slightly. Not a word of invitation, just space and suggestion. You step inside. Her breath catches when you approach the bed. You stand at the edge, heart pounding, but body calm. You're not asking for anything, but you're hoping. "I wasn't going to," you start to say. She reaches for your hand. "I know." You sit on the edge of the mattress, the blanket folding between you. She watches your profile in the dim light, her eyes catching reflections of the fire down the hall. Then she tugs your wrist, softly, just enough. You lie beside her, not pressed together, not yet. You lie there for a few beats, facing her, feeling the magnetic pull of breath and skin. She lifts a hand, brushing her fingers along your cheekbone. "You don't snore, do you?" "Only when I'm deeply satisfied." She laughs. "Noted." Her hand slides to the back of your neck. She draws you in slowly, and your foreheads touch again in the dark. You both close your eyes. It's not about what comes next. It's about this. This shared pause. This unspoken hunger dressed up in restraint. Then you whisper, "I was thinking about you before I even opened the door." She smiles, her lips grazing yours. "And I was hoping you'd be the kind of man who didn't mind a woman showing up with soot on her face and opinions." You let the kiss happen again, slow, Soft, this time in the dark, the blanket shifts as you pull her closer. Her leg slips over yours, and her breath, warm against your lips, fills the space between want and yes. She presses into you, and tonight, there are no separate rooms, only one thought, shared between two warm bodies under a borrowed blanket, in a cabin far too small for pretending anymore. A towel and a gasp. The morning slips in with silver light, but the snow hasn't stopped. If anything, it's thickened. Fat flakes cling to the window like secrets trying to get in. The fire's burned low, humming beneath the ash. You wake before Nora does. Her back is to you, the curve of her hip exposed where the blanket's fallen away. She's curled like a question mark, your hoodie still draped over her frame. One bare leg peeks out, long and smooth and utterly tempting. You lie still, breathing her in, the smell of night and heat and skin, the quiet intimacy of having held her, felt her shift and sigh in her sleep. Even after the kisses faded and the fire dimmed, you get up without waking her, careful, barefoot, the wood floor cold under your soles. In the bathroom, you strip and step into the small shower. Warm water hits your shoulders, steam clouding the mirror across the room. You let it roll down your back, wash the tension from your spine, rinse away everything but the feel of her mouth on yours. You close your eyes, replay the way she'd gasped last night when your hands had slipped beneath the hoodie, the way she'd whispered yes before the word even fully formed. The door creaks. You freeze, hand braced on the tile wall, heart stumbling. Nora, her voice sleepy and teasing. You always shower without offering to share. You turn, still dripping. She's standing in the doorway, wrapped in a towel, just barely. It's knotted loosely at her chest, the ends of her hair wet against her shoulders like she's just washed her face. She leans against the frame, one hand high above her head, hip cocked, expression unreadable. I wasn't sure if you'd still be here, you say, breathless and exposed. She tilts her head. I wasn't sure either. She steps inside, closes the door behind her with a soft click. The towel clings to her curves, barely covering what it should. And you can't help but watch as a droplet of water snakes down her collarbone, between the gentle swell of her breasts, disappearing beneath cotton. I didn't want to wake you, you say. She smiles. I wanted to wake with you. Your heart kicks. She walks toward you, slowly, deliberately, and slides the towel down from her body in one smooth motion. It pulls around her feet like fog. She stands there, bare, real, vulnerable, but not uncertain, not shy. I don't want to pretend anymore, she says. You step forward, water still running behind you, catching the light. Your hands reach for her waist, and she doesn't flinch. She melts. You pull her into the shower. The first gasp is hers, sharp and quiet as hot water kisses her skin. She presses against you, arms wrapping around your shoulders, lips already hungry. Her body is slick against yours, curves aligning like pieces of something ancient and familiar. You kiss her throat, her collarbone, her mouth again and again. She whispers your name like a secret, like a promise. Your hands explore each other, slow and reverent, no part rushed. Every motion an invitation. She tilts her head back as your mouth finds her shoulder. She moans when your fingers slide lower, guiding her hips against the shower wall. She pulls you closer, legs wrapping loosely around your waist. Water pours over both of you, steaming up the glass. drenching the sound of your mingled breathing. Her moans are quiet, controlled, but desperate beneath the surface. There's something worshipful in the way you hold her, in the way her nails dig into your shoulders. There's no need for words here. Just breath, just rhythm, just need. You lift her, her back against the wall, her lips on your neck. And when she finally lets go, soft cry, shudder, a tremble against your chest. It's not just pleasure. It's relief, a quiet surrender. You hold her until her breathing slows, until your heartbeat calms, and then you both laugh, quietly, because it's morning now, and she's still here. And somehow, you both know. This wasn't just the storm. This wasn't just heat. This was the beginning of something that already feels like home, close enough to burn. You dry her gently with a towel that smells like cedar and clean linen, dragging it slowly across her skin, like each pass might memorize her shape. She stands in front of you, half smiling, hair dripping down her shoulders, body still flushed from the heat of the shower. And you can't help but admire the glow in her eyes. It's not just the afterglow. It's something steadier, something settling in. Didn't expect to start my day like that, she murmurs as you wrap the towel around her, knotting it with care at her waist. You brush a strand of damp hair behind her ear, your fingertips lingering against her cheek. Me either. And yet, I'm not sorry. She leans in and kisses you again, soft, short, like punctuation. Then she sighs, stepping back, glancing down. I should get dressed, she says, before I make it impossible not to drag you back into the shower. You both laugh, that easy kind of laugh that comes when your bodies already understand each other. In the hallway, wrapped in a second towel now, you pass each other, skin brushing, hips nudging. She disappears into the guest room. You head to yours. When you both emerge 10 minutes later, you're dressed but far from distant. She's wearing that hoodie again, but this time with nothing underneath but a pair of clean underwear she pulled from her overnight bag. She brought it inside earlier without you noticing, stashed discreetly by the door. You wonder what that means. You don't ask. She walks barefoot across the rug and into the kitchen. Any chance you know how to make pancakes, you lean in the doorway, watching her stretch to open a cupboard. I make great pancakes. She says, glancing back with that spark in her eye. Prove it. The kitchen is small and quiet, except for the sizzle of batter and the occasional hiss of syrup warming on the stove. You move around each other easily, brushing hips, reaching across for spices, laughing when the spatula slips, when you place the finished stack on the table, steaming, golden, imperfect. She grins and kisses your cheek like you've just built her a palace. You sit together, knees touching under the table. No rush, just warmth. At one point, you catch her watching you mid-bite, syrup glistening at the corner of her lip. What? You ask, smiling. Just... She shrugs, leans her chin in her hand. You're not what I expected. What did you expect? She takes a beat, tilts her head. Someone gruff, cold, probably mad that the fireplace was broken. Instead, you got breakfast and a shower kiss. Exactly. She smiles, then grows quiet. I didn't think I'd stay. You nod. I didn't think you would either. But there's no tension in the honesty, just the quiet acceptance that something real has snuck in. Later, she helps you clean up, drying the dishes while you rinse. You brush past her as you reach for a towel, your hand at her lower back. And again, that flicker, that spark. You glance over your shoulder. She's watching you again, like she's caught between comfort and craving. and you can feel it. The burn hasn't gone. It's just under the surface now. You finish drying your hands, then step behind her, your front to her back, hands gently sliding around her waist. She exhales. "You're doing that thing again," she says softly. "What thing?" "Touching me like I'm going to disappear." You kiss the curve of her neck. Let your breath warm her skin. "Only because I don't want to miss anything." She leans into you fully now, her hands reaching back to rest on your hips. The room is still. The moment stretches, and you know, without her saying a word, that if you touched her more right now, she'd melt into your hands. But instead, she turns in your arms, rests her head against your chest, just breathing you in. Not yet, not now, but soon. And when it happens again, it'll be because neither of you could stand the warmth without surrendering to the flame. The couch confession. It's late afternoon now. Rain taps gently at the windows, as if reminding the world outside that it's still there. But inside, time has slowed. You're both on the couch, your body stretched out, her legs curled beneath her, that oversized hoodie half slipping off one shoulder. A quiet movie hums in the background, something neither of you are paying attention to. She's holding a mug of something warm, and you're holding her. One arm draped around her shoulders, fingers idly stroking the soft skin of her upper arm. She hasn't said much in the last 10 minutes. Not since she pulled the throw blanket over both your laps and tucked herself a little closer into your chest. You can feel the rhythm of her breathing, steady, but not quite relaxed. "You okay?" you ask, voice low. She shifts just enough to look up at you, eyes thoughtful. "Yeah, just not used to this." "This?" She gestures vaguely, her hand brushing your chest. "Being held like this, warm, comfortable, like no one wants anything from me." You don't say anything at first, just kiss the top of her head. "I don't want anything from you," you murmur. "Just with you." She tilts her face up. "That was smooth." You smile. "Wasn't trying to be." She exhales a soft laugh, then goes quiet again. Your hand finds the back of her neck, thumb stroking beneath her hairline. She leans into it, like it's instinct. "You know," she says eventually, "I almost didn't come." "Because of the fireplace?" "No, because of me." That makes you pause. You shift just enough to face her more fully. "What do you mean?" "I'm not always good at this part, the in-between, when things aren't just about sex, but not exactly love yet. I mess it up." You don't flinch, don't laugh. You just listen. She continues, voice quieter. "I thought maybe if I came here, fixed the thing, flirted a little, slept with you, I could control the outcome, keep it clean. But then I saw your books, your shoes by the door, your coffee mug with the chipped handle, and I thought, damn, he's real." "You let that settle. That scare you?" you ask gently. She nods. "A little, but mostly it made me stay." You reach down, lift her hand, and press a kiss to the inside of her wrist. "That's the most unclean thing I've heard all day." You tease softly. She laughs, nose wrinkling. "You're annoying." "You like me?" "Unfortunately, yes." The weight of the moment shifts then. No longer heavy, just true. And that truth has a texture, a heat, because once vulnerability cracks the door open, desire always finds a way in. You lean forward, brushing her hair back, letting your lips graze her cheek, then her jaw, then that little spot just beneath her ear. She exhales. You feel her body soften against yours. When your mouth meets hers again, it's not hungry, it's slow, thorough. like you're trying to learn her language, not take it. Her hands rise to your shoulders. She climbs onto your lap, straddling you slowly, blanket falling away. The hoodie drapes her like a lover's cloak, but it doesn't hide her trembling. Your fingers slip beneath the hem, dragging upward. She lifts her arms. You peel the fabric away. No words now, just hands, mouths, skin. You explore her slowly, like she's not just a body, but a whole world that's letting you in for the first time. She shifts her hips. You guide her. She gasps when you enter her again. This time deeper, this time more here. It's not frantic. It's slow, measured, a rhythm built on breath and trust. She wraps her arms around your neck, forehead pressed to yours, whispering your name like it might keep her anchored. You move together like the rain outside, soft, constant, unhurried. When she trembles in your arms, you hold her tighter, and when you come undone just seconds after her, it's not just a release, it's a surrender, not to lust, to something more. You stay like that for a while, just holding each other, breathing in sync. The credits roll on the forgotten movie. The room is dim, and you know, whatever happens next, this wasn't just a moment. It was the beginning of something worth falling into. Dinner in a t-shirt. It's after dark now. The rain hasn't stopped, and neither has the warmth between you. She pads barefoot into your kitchen, wearing only your oversized t-shirt. It drowns her frame in the most delicious way. No bra, no shame. Her skin still carries the pink glow of just kissed places, and her hair is a tousled crown of satisfied chaos. You lean in the doorway and just watch her. She opens cabinets with a casual familiarity, rummaging for something to eat. You didn't even ask her to stay for dinner. She just did, like it was natural, like the decision had already been made the moment she straddled you on the couch. "I found pasta," she announces, holding up a box like she's discovered treasure. "Perfect," you say, pushing off the frame to join her. "But you're cooking. I've done enough heavy lifting today," she snorts. "You? Heavy lifting? Please, I did all the work." "Lies," you say, closing the space between you. You grab her waist from behind, lips finding her bare shoulder. "You just looked pretty doing it." She leans back against you, hums when you nip her gently. "Be careful. I burn things when distracted." Noted, but you stay there for a while anyway. The t-shirt's hem barely skims the curve of her thighs, and your hands are now dangerously close to disappearing beneath it. Her breath catches when your fingers trace just under the fabric, over the warm skin of her hips. "I thought we were making dinner," she whispers, multitasking. You whisper back. Eventually, she playfully swats you away, cheeks flushed, and insists on cooking. So you open a bottle of wine instead. Pour 2 glasses, one for you, one for her. She sips hers between stirring the sauce and dancing barefoot to some lo-fi playlist that's humming through your speakers. You sit on the counter and let yourself fall even harder. There's something about the way she looks at home here, like she belongs, like this isn't a fleeting hookup, but a quiet beginning. You find yourself wanting her to leave a toothbrush in the bathroom, a drawer in your dresser, a key on your hook. "Why are you staring at me?" she asks without looking up. You blink. "Was I? Hard. Sorry. You just look really good cooking in my shirt." She smirks. "This your move? Feed them after sex and trap them with carbs?" "I mean, it works. The pasta's done before either of you are really hungry, but you serve it anyway. Sit at the table with bare legs brushing under the wood. Every time she lifts her fork, your eyes drift to the way the neckline of the shirt slips low, revealing soft curves and skin you've already worshipped once today and are dying to revisit. She catches your stare and smiles behind a sip of wine. You're not very subtle, you know. I'm not trying to be. Silence falls, but it's comfortable. You ask her questions. Where she grew up, what made her want to do carpentry, whether she always smells like cedar and vanilla, or if that's just something magical she brewed just for tonight. She answers with gentle honesty, laughing now and then, twirling noodles with a fork like this is any normal dinner date. But it's not, because when you finally clear the table and move back toward the couch, something shifts. She stops you, one hand on your chest. Her eyes are softer now, more searching. I like you, she says, plain and unguarded. I wasn't expecting that. You nod slowly, stepping closer. I like you too. A lot. She takes your hand and presses it flat against her chest, right over her heartbeat. It's fast. You make me nervous, she whispers, in a good way. And just like that, the air thickens again. You bend down and kiss her, not hungrily, but reverently, like she just gave you a truth you'll spend the rest of the night deserving. She takes your hand and leads you back toward the bedroom. But the pace is different now. No urgency, no heat needing to be doused. Just two people walking willingly into a storm that feels like home. As she steps ahead, the t-shirt rises just enough to reveal that she's still bare underneath. She glances over her shoulder with a smirk. Still hungry? She asks. You don't answer with words, only with the way you follow. Under the covers, nothing to hide. The sheets are still a little rumpled from earlier, and you think maybe it's fitting, because nothing about this night has been neat or expected. You sit on the edge of the bed first, and she climbs into your lap, facing you, straddling you like she belongs there. Because she does. The oversized t-shirt rides up around her thighs, barely concealing anything now. But neither of you are in a rush to take it off. The slow burn is too delicious. She kisses you differently this time. Less teasing, more tender. You feel her lips press and linger, a little heavier, a little more sure. She cradles your face in both hands, like she's trying to memorize every angle of it in the dim light. You slide your hands along her bare legs, up her sides beneath the soft cotton, feeling the warmth of her skin, the flutter of her breath catching when your fingertips brush her ribs. I can't remember the last time I felt this safe, she murmurs, pressing her forehead against yours. You smile into her skin. You are. She closes her eyes, breathes in deeply. I believe you. Your arms wrap fully around her now, holding her close, letting your hands roam slowly across her back. The pressure is light, but deliberate, fingertips mapping every inch like you're discovering something ancient and sacred. She rolls her hips slowly against yours, the friction lazy and full of promise, and you groan softly, head falling to her shoulder. There's no music anymore, but the rhythm of her body is more than enough. The shirt lifts fully as she starts to move against you, skin on skin again, heat blooming where you touch. You kiss her collarbone, the curve of her shoulder, the slope of her breast as it presses against your chest. You take your time. So does she. It's not a race anymore. It's a ceremony. She rises slightly and reaches between you, guiding you with a confidence that sends a shiver straight through your core. When she lowers herself onto you again, it's so slow, it borders on spiritual. No gasps, just deep, aching sighs that tremble in both your throats. You stay that way for a long time, rocking together, wrapped in each other like silk and gravity. You whisper things you don't entirely remember. She laughs softly in your ear, kisses your jaw, tells you you're making her lose her mind in the best way. Her hands press into your back, nails grazing gently down as her breath quickens. You shift, laying her back onto the pillows, never breaking contact. She reaches up and pulls you down with her, wrapping her legs around you, holding you like a secret she doesn't want to let go of. You bury your face in her neck as your bodies begin to find that slow, rising rhythm again. Her scent is everywhere, skin and desire and rain, and you can't get enough. At some point, the t-shirt finally comes off, peeled back like a layer of fog revealing something divine. You pause and just look at her. The curves, the flush, the soft flicker of vulnerability behind her half-lidded eyes. "You're beautiful," you whisper. It sounds almost stupid to say, like it's not nearly enough, but she smiles anyway. And you know she hears everything beneath the word. Your mouth finds her breast. Your hand presses firmly against the small of her back, and the pace quickens just slightly. She arches, gasps, clings. Every part of her welcomes you in, over and over again. And then, just when you're both teetering on that dizzy edge, she threads her fingers through yours and locks your hands above her head. "Stay with me," she breathes. You don't answer. You just do. The moment crests and breaks like a soft wave, all heat and exhale and trembling silence. Your body's still, but your souls feel like they're still moving. You collapse beside her, tangled in sheets and each other. The air is warm, but you pull the blanket over her anyway, tucking her against your chest like you never want to let her go. And maybe you don't. She sighs contentedly, fingers lazily tracing circles on your stomach. "You're gonna ruin me," she says. You kiss her hair. Good. Morning glimmers, lingering touches. There's a hush in the room that only morning can bring. The kind that floats in through the half-closed blinds. That silvery blue light casting soft shadows across tangled limbs and tousled hair. You stir first, but barely. Your body aches in that sweet, sated way, as if every nerve has been carefully wrung out and now lies dormant in pleasure. She's curled into your side, one leg thrown over yours, one arm draped across your stomach like she never left. Her breath is warm against your chest. Her hair spills in soft strands along your shoulder. The moment is still. No alarm, no words, no need. You let your hand trail up her back slowly, your fingertips brushing her spine, every vertebrae a note in a song you can't stop humming. She stirs under your touch, then tightens her grip around your waist, a sleepy murmur escaping her lips. Still here? You smile, kiss the top of her head. Still here. She shifts, tilting her face up toward you. Her eyes are heavy, her lashes dark with sleep, but the smile that slowly curves across her lips is full of something softer, something real. And before the day can intrude, before light and time start tugging at the corners of the dream, she lifts herself gently and kisses you, slowly, deeply, as if last night hadn't ended at all, only paused. Her fingers move across your chest, playful now, lazy but still deliberate. You let her climb over you again, your hands finding her hips instinctively. Her bare skin presses against yours, that delicious friction reigniting like coals catching breath. You're both slower now, gentler, but no less intense. She rolls her hips in a slow circle, teasing you with half movements, her eyes never leaving yours. There's laughter in them now, a playfulness that wasn't there last night, like she's savoring every beat of control she's earned. Careful, you murmur, breath catching as she grinds down with purpose. I might start believing this is how every morning should begin. She leans in, kisses your jaw, then your throat, her breath trailing warmth wherever her lips go. And what if it should? You don't answer with words. Your hands guide her, and together you move like something sacred, a slow, simmering rhythm that coils heat deep inside you again. This time, there's no urgency, no ache to reach the edge. It's all about the journey, the softness, the silence. She rides you in long, languid strokes, back arched, hands braced on your chest. The sunlight catches her skin, turns her into something golden and unreal. You watch her through half-lidded eyes, entranced by every small sound she makes, every shiver that dances along her limbs. It feels like hours pass, though you know it's only minutes. Eventually, she leans forward, presses her forehead to yours, and whispers your name. Not loud, not desperate, just full. When release comes for both of you, it's not a crash, it's a melt, like wax, like waves, like something liquid and endless flowing between your bodies. You hold her through it, kissing her cheeks, her temple, the corner of her mouth as she breathes you in. You stay joined for a while, still moving, still rocking gently, even as the peak passes. Neither of you wants to break the spell just yet. Eventually, she rests her head against your shoulder again, chest rising and falling in rhythm with yours. Do you want breakfast? She murmurs. You chuckle softly. I want you for breakfast. She laughs into your skin, full and unfiltered, her body shaking lightly on top of yours. You're impossible. You flip her gently beneath you, kiss her once more, and you're delicious. The light grows brighter now, and somewhere, a bird chirps just outside the window. Reality is waiting on the other side of the walls. But for now, neither of you is ready to greet it. You stay there a while longer, wrapped in sheets and heat, and the afterglow of something quietly incredible. Maybe it was supposed to be one night, but your heart is already hoping for two. Shower, steam, and silhouettes. Later, when the warmth of the room fades into the crisp air of morning, she pads away from the bed, bare feet tapping lightly across the wooden floor. You hear the gentle click of the bathroom door, then the slow rush of running water, like a beckoning sound pulling you from under the duvet. You follow without thought, legs still heavy from pleasure, head foggy in the best possible way. The door is ajar. Inside, the bathroom is already humid, the mirror fogging up, the scent of eucalyptus body wash mixing with warm steam in a way that feels like another world entirely. She's in the shower, silhouetted behind the frosted glass, water streaming down her skin, her hands lifting to gather her hair away from her neck. You watch for a moment, just a moment, then the door swings open, and she peeks out, droplets clinging to her lashes. You coming in or just enjoying the show? You don't answer. You're already stepping in. The steam hits you first, thick, hot, comforting, and then her body, slick and glistening under the cascade, folds into yours like it was waiting. She turns, lets her back press to your chest, and sighs as your hands explore her all over again. The water makes everything feel softer. Every curve, every crease, every tender line of her body magnified. You press your lips to her wet shoulder, trailing up to the hollow behind her ear. "You smell like heaven," you murmur, voice husky from sleep and heat. She turns, wraps her arms around your neck, and kisses you in that slow, slippery way that makes the world tilt. Her skin is hot beneath your hands, and the way she presses her hips into yours leaves no space between fantasy and reality anymore. There's a moment, just one, where you wonder how it's still this electric. But then she reaches down, guides you into her again, and that question disappears into the steam. You brace her against the tile, the water rushing down between your bodies, turning moans into music. She gasps softly, her head tipped back, eyes fluttering. Every movement is slippery and wet, every thrust measured with quiet control. Her nails rake lightly across your back, not in pain, just in need, in sheer, full-bodied wanting. You kiss her mouth, her chin, her throat, holding her steady as you move in sync again. Slower, deeper this time. No rush, just rising heat in a space already drenched in it. You feel her tighten, breath catching. And when she comes this time, it's quiet, intimate, a trembling, melting moment that flows over both of you like the water itself. You don't stop. You follow her there. Eyes locked, forehead pressed to hers. Your own release folding into the moment with a deep, low exhale. No fire, no explosion, just depth, just connection, just everything. You stay in the shower long after the heat starts to run out. Her body relaxed, leaning into yours. Your fingers comb through her wet hair. Her smile is sleepy and satisfied. "I wasn't expecting this when I came over," she murmurs. You grin, kissing her temple. "Me either." Eventually, you rinse off the last traces of the night. Help her out of the shower. Wrap her in your towel and kiss her again like you mean it. Because you do. There's something unspoken between you now, something stretching far beyond last night's fire or this morning's glow. It's not just chemistry, it's potential, a flicker of something bigger. You both feel it, but for now, you just dry her shoulders and brush your fingers down her arms. You make coffee. She finds one of your old t-shirts to wear, and together you sit in your small kitchen with wet hair and warm mugs and silent understanding. Something was lit between you last night, but it's still burning, quiet, steady, real. Socks, smiles, and unspoken goodbyes. She's curled up on your couch now, legs tucked under her, your oversized t-shirt swallowing her frame in the softest, most disarming way. Her damp hair has dried in lazy waves, and she sips coffee like it's a ritual, slow, steady, as if delaying the inevitable. You sit beside her, your thigh brushing hers. The morning light paints her skin gold. Neither of you speak for a minute. There's no need. You both know what time means now. She has to go. That's the unspoken thing floating in the steam between your mugs. But no one wants to be the first to break it. So you lean closer instead, fingers drifting over her knee, tracing small shapes against her skin. "You're still cold," you say. She smiles. "I gave all my heat to you last night." You grin, then stand and rummage through the drawer by the door until you find them, your warmest, thickest socks. They're striped, soft, kind of ridiculous looking, but she beams when you hand them over, like you just gifted her gold. She slides them on slowly, giggling softly at the way they slide up her legs. You planning on seducing me with cozy foot fashion? She teases. You sit beside her again, resting your hand gently on her thigh. I don't need to seduce you. You're already here. Her smile falters. Not in a bad way. Just enough to show there's something else behind her eyes. Something tender. Something real. I am, she says, voice a little quieter now. You brush a strand of hair behind her ear, letting your fingers linger at the curve of her jaw. You kiss her again, not hungry, not teasing, just warm, like you're memorizing her. She kisses back, like she's trying to do the same. When the kiss ends, you lean your foreheads together and stay there, breathing together. No words, just heartbeats. Then she exhales. Okay, I should really... I know, you whisper. And that's it. You help her gather her things, the coat, the boots, the phone charger. She keeps your socks on though. Doesn't even ask. Just pulls on her boots right over them and gives you this sly, gentle look, like she dares you to stop her. You don't. At the door, she turns and looks at you. There's no big farewell, no promises, just this, an ache that sits between your ribs, soft and deep. You step forward, kiss her one more time. It's like the first kiss all over again. And the last, her hand rests on your chest for a second longer than it needs to. Then she's gone. The door closes. Her scent lingers. You don't move. You just stare at the door, feeling the silence fill the apartment again. The difference is, it's not empty this time. It's full of her. You pad back toward the couch, still warm where she sat, and sink into the spot she left behind. Her coffee mug is there, lipstick rim on the edge. You wrap your hands around it and bring it to your lips. Not even drinking, just remembering. And then you see something. Her earrings, glinting on the side table. She left them, on purpose maybe, maybe not. But you smile, because she'll have to come back. And next time, maybe it won't just be the fireplace that needs fixing. One last spark, one long look. You don't text her right away. There's a sacredness to the silence she left behind. A lingering echo of breathless laughter, the memory of skin brushing skin, and those striped socks now nestled in your laundry basket, still warm, but by late afternoon, you crack. It starts simple. You forgot your earrings. The typing dots appear, disappear, then return. Guess I'll need an excuse to come back. You laugh out loud, alone in your apartment. The couch still has the faintest impression of her shape. The scent of her perfume still curls at the edge of your hoodie. I'll save your spot. You don't expect her to show up that night. She'd said she had work, life, responsibilities, but sometime after dark, there's a knock. It's soft, almost unsure. Like maybe she wasn't sure she should come. Like maybe she walked halfway here, turned back, and then walked again, just to land outside your door with her heart in her hands. You open it. She's in a long coat, and nothing underneath, but one of those slouchy black sweaters that swallow her figure and make her eyes glow brighter. Her cheeks are flushed from the breeze. You blink once. She steps in and kisses you without a word. It's slow, different from last time. Not as frantic, not as teasing, just deep. She drops her purse somewhere. You kick the door shut with your heel. Your hands are on her waist again, pulling her closer like your body never forgot. And hers? Hers is already melting into yours, moving with you. You walk backward together into the living room, mouths still tangled. She breaks the kiss only long enough to murmur, I missed you today. You were gone 12 hours. She smiles against your mouth. Exactly. Clothes fall away like petals, soft, scattered, natural. This time, you don't rush. This time, you light every candle. Play the same lo-fi playlist. Let her choose the wine. You touch her like she's poetry you want to memorize. Each word, each pause, on the rug, beside the still warm fireplace. You make love again. But this time, it's different. There's no edge of the unknown. No playful barriers. No what happens after. This time, it feels like the after is already here. Like you both chose it. Like she's not just passing through. You kiss her shoulder, her neck, the soft underside of her thigh. She arches with a soft sound that sounds more like surrender than surprise. She clutches your wrist when you move inside her, pulling you closer like she wants to dissolve into you. Her eyes search yours, not to seduce you, but to see you, and you let her. You don't look away. Later, when you're both tangled in the blanket, her head on your chest, your heart beats slow and heavy beneath her cheek, she speaks again. I don't want this to be a one-time thing. You smile into her hair. I was just about to say the same. She pulls the blanket tighter around both of you. You stay like that. No clock, no worries, no morning after pretending. Only her breath, your fingers in her hair, and the quiet, slow promise that this thing, whatever it is, isn't just firewood and sparks. It's warmth, the kind that stays. The morning after, the night still between you. It's sometime past dawn when you stir, not because of an alarm, not from a dream, just the warm, quiet pressure of a body still draped across yours. Her thigh over your hip, her cheek resting on your chest, fingers curled against your rib cage like you're her pillow, her anchor, her entire Saturday. The room is dim, filtered through sheer curtains. A few grey clouds outside move slowly, lazily, as if even the sky hasn't quite woken up yet. You glance down at her. She's still asleep and breathtaking. Soft lips slightly parted, hair a little messy from sleep and sex. One shoulder exposed, the blanket having slipped down to reveal the curve of her spine. You run your fingers gently along it, a slow touch that makes her murmur in response. She shifts, snuggles in tighter. Neither of you says anything. Not for minutes. There's no need. Eventually, she opens her eyes, still half-lidded, blinking slowly. That lazy smile returns. Hi, she whispers. Hi. You kiss the top of her head. She stretches like a cat, long and content. And it stirs memories of last night. How you wrapped around each other again and again, like you were rediscovering one another with each soft gasp and open-mouthed kiss. Now, in the morning light, it feels just as intimate, more even. You pad to the kitchen in just boxers while she watches you from the couch, one of your oversized shirts now falling to her thighs. She sits cross-legged, sipping from the mug you made her, the one that says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my second kiss." And you oblige by kissing her again before the coffee even cools. She glances around the apartment like it's no longer a stranger's space. Her bobby pin from yesterday is still on the coffee table. Her earrings, finally remembered, glint in a small dish. Her scent lingers on the pillow beside yours. It's not a goodbye. It's never been a goodbye, not even in the beginning. She finishes her coffee, walks over, kisses you again with that same slow fire, and leans against the kitchen counter like she's lived here for months. And in some strange way, she already has, maybe in dreams. Maybe in the way your body anticipated her hands before they ever touched. Maybe in that universal ache of meeting someone who feels like a home you forgot you once knew. You take her hand, still warm from the mug, and press it to your lips. Stay a little longer. She smiles, not the sly, flirtatious one, but something quieter, something deeper. I was hoping you'd say that. You pull her in again, and the day begins not with noise, not with rush or alarms or errands, but with one long, slow breath of comfort, of connection, of something that feels like it was always meant to be here. She came to fix the fireplace. You lit something else. And now, both flames burn on, soft, steady, and impossibly real. The day drifts on, but your heart slows. The crackling of last night's fire is only a memory now, but the warmth remains. You lie there together, the blanket draped over your limbs, the room wrapped in golden morning light. Outside, birds begin to call softly, and somewhere far off, the world resumes its pace. But not here. Not in this quiet little cocoon you've built between kisses and whispers. Her fingers find yours again, and you let them stay. Breath by breath, your body sinks. Muscles unwind. The edges of your mind soften. There's no urgency, no list of things to do, no questions about what this is or where it's going. Just the simplicity of skin against skin, of comfort earned slowly, of love, or maybe something close to it, resting between shared heartbeats. If sleep wants you again now, take it. Let the warmth of her voice echo softly in your memory. Let the brush of her fingers lull you into stillness. Let the sweetness of being chosen, again and again, be your lullaby. You made it through the night, and maybe, just maybe, you won't walk quite the same after this one, but you'll remember every step, even in your dreams.